Hi, this is Zach Meir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Friday the 16th of May. Starting off with the S&P, which is making good progress above the old March resistance there, 57.80, and above that looking for not only the record highs, 61.50 plus, but also even that resistance line projection from last June, 6,300 by the end of next month. On the downside, not expecting anything lower than 56.80, basically the floor of the latest gap, and ideally we stay above 57.70. Moving on to the Nasdaq, which was a bit of a laggard in terms of the recovery, but seems to have stepped up to the plate to be almost at the same equivalent level as the S&P. Here we've got this market gapping through the old March resistance, so much stronger type of move. We've had a gap higher this week as well through 20,800 and above that. Obviously looking for the best levels of the year, 22,200. Best case would be by the end of next month, that resistance line projection from last June as high as 22,800, hopefully, on that situation. Moving on to the stocks and starting off with a return visit to, first visit actually to Aytu Biopharma. Here we've had a broadening triangle rebound and broken through old resistance, $1.90 above that. Looking for the top of the range and the top of the triangle there at $3.20 over the next couple of weeks, by the end of the month. Next up is a stock which we have looked at before, and you'll see that has been quite an exciting situation. The reason for saying that is that we've overshot the runway in terms of trading higher than the target we had, $5.75. And if you look back at the chart, you can see that basically we've got resistance going in towards the 10 pence plus zone. Hopefully we can get there by the end of next month, while we remain above, if we can remain above $5.70. And that target that we had, I suppose, might have to even allow down to the old resistance there from November 23 at $5, but hoping 570 will do the trick. Moving along to Bitcoin Depot, and or as the Americans might say, Depot. Here you can see that we've got a broadening triangle base, or a large broadening triangle, and top of the triangle there up to $3.60. We're looking for that by the end of next month, while we remain above recent resistance on the way down at $2 on an end of day close basis. Might be cutting a bit fine, but that's what we're hoping for at the moment. Next up is Basel Medical, and here interesting that the shares, or the shares have actually told us, or are apparently telling us, that we're in a broadening triangle, so we've hit the floor of that, and we've also hit the top of the triangle as well, obviously hoping that the support will remain above the $1.80 level, and we can head back to the recent broken trading range up towards $4. Moving along to the situation at Cibus, and here it looks like a nice turnaround, triple RSI 50 rebounds, one of my favorite setups because it's a leading indicator on the upside. We've also got the hint of an inverted head and shoulders, and proper break of $2.70 should get us up to the top of that rising trend channel, from the rising trend channel base from the end of last year, as high as $6 by the end of next month. Rising 50-day line near the low, also very encouraging on top of the multiple RSI 50 rebounds. Next up is situation perhaps not quite as exciting, but you never know, it might transform itself. Innovative Solutions. Here we've got the shares moving into, or basically testing the top of the gap there towards $10.50. Need to see an end of day close above that level, which we might get today if we're lucky, to give us a move to the top of the triangle there from November last year, as high as $13.30. Otherwise, on the downside, perhaps resistance on the way down, $8.60 could stem the losses, but nice to see the 50-day line rising at $6.60 and the RSI 50 rebound, so that did actually forecast the turnaround in the shares. Moving on to a stock which has exceeded expectations, and comes in the form of Kindly, and you can see that we had a target for the stock, and it has been breached by quite a degree. Here you'll see that the push higher came from a gap through the rising trend channel base that we had in place till the beginning of this month. We're originally looking for a target around $5, and obviously we've overshot the runway on that one as well. Current situation is that while there's no intraday close back below yesterday's, or rather Wednesday's low at $10, we're looking for at least a partial retracement of that spike through up towards the $25 area. So maybe 20 to 25 are possible, even if we then push back down again. The next stock is one which we haven't looked at before, and here it comes in the form of Semileds. You can see that we've got this rising trend channel in place since the early part of last year. Top of the channel there, heading towards the $4.30 area, and we're looking at that by the end of next month, while we remain above the floor of the channel, around $2.12. Next situation is hopefully one which will have legs, and here you can see that the chart of Neurogene is looking as though it's ready to move. We've got the RSI 50 rebounds there. We've got the 50-day line rising at $13.95. That leaves us looking at the top of the triangle there, $31.80 by the end of next month. There's also bullish intentions in SC Pharmaceuticals with the bounce off the floor of this rising trend channel base. That was around $2.20 and above that. Looking for $4 plus by the end of next month at the top of that formation, which has been in place since the end of the year. Hopefully there will be no break back below the 50-day line, as there was back in February. Moving on to the last two. The first one is the Oncology Institute, which doesn't sound like the most exciting company or the most positive one, but the chart looking great. $4.30, the top of the chart there. Looking for that perhaps as soon as the end of this month, while we remain above the latest gap, $2.60. RSI rebound off neutral 50 as well, helping the cause. Last on the list today is Wellgistics rather, and here you can see that we've got a potential triangle of turnaround, so a bit like Basel Medical. If yesterday's, rather Wednesday's low holds at 170, then we're looking for at least a return to the range of $3 plus over the next week or two. That's it from me today. More updates over the weekend.